your attention, please. 10, 9, 8, 7. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have...
What the hell? Was that messing up on your side too?
Oh yeah, dude. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, the countdown didn't work and I'm like, what is that? So then I tried our regular intro. Guys, it is the DNA show. Dennis is back. The mighty one returns and he brings a whole lot of problems to the stream, as you can tell. Because hey, when it was just me, the few times I did go doing the DNA show without him, were there hiccups like that? No. Somebody's bringing their bad juju to the freaking show, and I'm not thrilled with it, Dennis.
Well, I can't help it that the ghosts have decided to infiltrate your computer. I am sorry if the lights start flickering. That's because you've angered them with one of your Dallas Cowboy comments or something, and the ghosts are just going to come get you this show. I'm sorry. There's just not much I can do about that.
Yeah. All I know is
good to be back. It is good to be back, even with all of Andy's technical problems since he's running the show. And it has been a miserable couple of months here. I am just glad that I can actually semi-function. Like I'm already hitting a wall today. And we are doing Reenie's show tonight. So for those of you watching us now, that'll be our third show today. We were on Apex this morning. We've got a great guest. It's been a while since we've had Darryl on. He'll be joining us very quickly. And then tonight at 7, we'll be on Reenie's channel. Guys, that'll be my whole day. I'll be wiped and I'll be sound asleep early tonight. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm kind of tired too. All I know is, hold on, what's this say? That reminds me, thank you again for bringing good luck to the Bears. You got it. All I know is, dude, if you wanted a few weeks off, you just had to ask. You didn't have to feign this. Oh, I've got a little kidney infection. I mean, come on. You don't need to lie to me. I know you. We're good pals. You could have just said I need a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. So reading in between the lines, boy, I needed 2 months away from Andy, and that's the best way to do it is to get kidney stones. Yes. Now wow. I know in the future how not to have to talk to Andy, guys.
You bastard. How dare you?
Look at guys. We are going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Quick, look at that. Joe Bernardo, Darryl, aloha, my Buckeye brother. Yeah, he was excited. I actually talked to him when I was on my way. I actually made it to the local comic shop today for the first time in like 3 weeks. And I was so happy to pick up my new comics, but I talked to Joe on the way in. Randy's already letting everybody know there's only 11 left of the retro newsprint edition. We'll get into that later. The longest cosplay. I think we saw you at Hickory, one of my favorite Comic-Con artists and people on the planet. This is going to be a great interview.
Yes, it is. It definitely should be for sure.
Randy is dropping links and everything down in there. JP's like, I'm really excited for this one. I have a commission request with Darryl. Oh, boy. Love to hear that. Is it a request or is Dale working on them? I can't wait till we bring Darryl in.
I know.
Hey, Dennis isn't replaced by Rich. No. Rich only got my spot at SC Comic Con because it was the first time I haven't been able to attend it. He doesn't get my DNA spot. I think Tucci took my spot last week, didn't he, Billy?
He did take your spot last week. So
big hiccup with the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a mix between hiccups
Big
and
hiccup.
massive
I don't even know what you're talking about. They won last week, and I'll have you know, and I'm not making this up. You can go fact check me. Number one quarterback right now out of the top 5, Dak Prescott.
Oh,
Yep.
well, he does have one of the biggest contracts, so good on him.
He no, seriously. If you look at the top 5 quarterbacks, he is number 1. So
Okay,
just saying, it's true. Look it up. Look it up. I know your tone. I know that okay tone, and that okay tone is no, he's not. I know your tone. So
there we go, guys. Darryl is working on it. Hal Jordan, 49ers number 1. No ties with this team. No ties. That's your slogan? Hey, we're a 49ers fan. No ties. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
All right. I will say 4-1 with a team that's not even that healthy. Hey, tip of the hat. If we're talking football, let's bring our guest on because he's a fan of football. Mr. Darryl Banks, hello.
But he's all the way from the middle of the country.
That's right.
So you're a Browns fan, huh?
Actually, I'm a Bengals fan, but I had an uncle that passed away who was a lifelong Browns fan. So today, I was kind of thinking about him and I'm wearing this shirt. But I kind of have like a favorite team and like a top 5. I'm kind of, I guess, AFC, Bengals, Browns, Ravens. Although I'll pull in I like Buffalo as well. So those are kind of my favorites.
Okay, so I do like Buffalo. I love the fact the Chiefs are 2-3. I hope they keep going down. I want Buffalo to go all the way. I did see that this morning. My daughter told me the Bengals traded and now have Joe Flacco.
The Bengals have Joe Flacco? Wow, yep. This is news to me. I mean, 2 seconds ago they were in Cleveland. Now he's in Cleveland. I mean, he's in Cincinnati. I mean, stranger things have happened. So I don't know.
That is now I just want to check because my daughter's pretty up on this. She gets news alerts and stuff. So let me just double check that.
More than the 3 of us put together. She lives on the NFL.
Yep. Joe, 2 hours ago, Joe Flacco to start at quarterback for Bengals in Week 6 against the Packers.
Wow, and it would be against Green Bay. So good luck with that. So.
Yeah.
Well, we did hand Cleveland that massive gift this year. So you're welcome, Darryl, because I am a cheesehead, and
I still don't know how that happened. I watched the game and still don't know how that happened.
Well, I can tell you, I watch a lot of my friends are Packer fans and stuff, and we were all sitting around talking about it, and I was like, guys, everybody's picking the Packers, and I said, this game worries me more than any of the other ones. They're like, why? It's an easy team. I'm like, they always overlook the easy teams, and all 5 of our starting offensive linemen are out. I said, I'm really worried, even though the Browns have a solid defense, and I said, they're going to roughshod over our line, and they did. They absolutely did. There were a lot of sacks. It was not a good looking game, and when it's close at the end, never favors the Packers. So, yep, I hate to call it, but I did. I was very sad.
Hey, I'm
this
sure
is the kind of season we
don't
want to predict this stuff.
So.
What was that?
What was that, Darryl?
I was going to say, every season I say I don't want a predictable season, but then when it happens, I'm not happy about it. It's like if you had told me Jacksonville would win, or when when Cleveland beat Green Bay, it's kind of like, oh, that's the kind of unknowns I always like about the season. But then sometimes I like to be able to kind of tell what's going to happen. But then, like when Kansas City was winning all the time, it was like, but that's kind of boring. It
is boring.
Nothing against Kansas City, but I mean, but being a Cincinnati fan, it's kind of like, well, I mean, the last time we were really good was when, of course, being in Columbus, we're more of a college town anyway. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, with Joe Burrow and stuff, you have hope, but then he gets hurt and he's out to what? December basically, and it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Come December, if the team's not turned around going for the playoffs, you might as well just tell Burrow, you're done. You're not even touching that field again until next year. No point.
So
See,
Joe's
Joe
asking you,
understands.
Darryl,
What's that?
what's more important? Joe's asking you, what's more important, NFL or Buckeyes football?
Well, wow, it's like picking a favorite child. I mean, but
They're
both,
equal, we know.
both. But I'm right here in Columbus, so if I say something else other than Buckeyes, I'm like, oh, yeah, better look over my shoulder.
That's right.
It's in case you don't know, Buckeye football is big here in Columbus, Ohio, and when I mean big, it's like it's like a pro team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's his comic art fans. Go check that out. Thank you, Randy. Iodine says, Jag fan here. The fact that we are 4-1 is miraculous. I cannot believe the Jaguars are 4-1.
It has to happen sometime. It has
Oh,
to
yeah.
happen sometime.
But they're not leading. The Colts are leading the division.
The division, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but didn't the Jacksonville kicker kick a 70-yard field goal?
Oh, I don't know. That's incredible. That's the record, because I'm pretty sure the record before was held by the Dallas kicker, because the dude's from soccer and he just drills them from half field or more. So
there was a time a 50-yard field goal was weird. Now it's kind of like it seems like it happens more and more and more. It's like,
I know.
what's going on?
It's what's weird about the game is that, for one, because now, once one kicker does it, now if Dennis is right, if this other dude in Jacksonville did it, now it's kind of like it just takes kind of the magic out of it. You kind of want it to be where, oh, should they try to kick that long one from the 45-yard line, or should they, punt?
It wasn't. So I was right, but it was in preseason.
Oh, okay.
So thank you, Iodine, for the update.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, the one thing I noticed too when I went to the Bears game, the Bears Cowboys game, is because you don't really notice it watching on TV, but this is also the first year they're not doing the yardsticks with the chains anymore. It's now, basically with a laser, or whatever, to see if they make the first down, which is nice because it's more accurate. But there's just something about seeing the line judges run out with the chains and pull them tight and mark it and stuff.
I mean, a guy will say, "Oh, I'm the one that moves the chains." What are you going to say now? I'm the guy that moves the laser. It just doesn't sound right.
Well, that's just it. And they still have the flag guys that hold up each one on the sideline, so the players can tell where they have to make it. But just that little orange like rectangle thing that's right there marking where the first down line is, I don't know. Just
to the Panthers. Whoa,
no.
well, Andy switches.
Why would I do that?
All right, so
Dallas is coming here. Dennis doesn't want to go to the game. He's being a dick because he went last week. Two Panther Stadium games for him is enough. Or one is enough, I should say.
Guys, it was literally my first day out of the house. My wife just had knee replacement in the middle of all the crap I'm going through. So she needed help going. I actually didn't feel like going at all, but had to go to help her out. So you're walking around uptown. I will say this, even at the tailgating party, thank God they had chairs there because I went and sat. We ran into Packer fans there and of Garn. Now Packers had a bye week, and but it was the Dolphins and Panthers. 60% of the jerseys at the game were Dolphin jerseys. This is at home in Carolina. There were more away jerseys than there were home jerseys. We also saw a bunch of Steelers, a bunch of Packer fans that were wearing their jerseys, a few Broncos, and 3 Shane Falco jerseys. Had I known that, I could have worn my Shane and made it a 4th. The guy sitting right in front of me was a Shane Falco. For those of you that don't, that's a movie, The Replacements, Keanu Reeves. And it was awesome to see that. But guys, there aren't many Panther fans here in Carolina. We're all transplants in Charlotte. So, we all bring our teams with us, and it shows at the home stadium.
Yeah. Yeah. Darryl, have you been to live NFL games before?
When I was a kid, our church group went to a Hall of Fame game, a Bengals game, which is, I wonder if that's why I've been a Bengals fan for so long.
Oh, that's nice.
This was back during when Kenny Anderson was still playing.
I just realized you got the Hall of Fame right there, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's in Canton, but that's like 90 minutes away. But yeah,
Ken Anderson, that's like 82.
Well, this would have been before that, because I don't know how many seasons he was there, but when we met him, that was maybe around 80.
Okay,
something like that.
Wow, that's before Collinsworth, because Collinsworth is an '80s guy, right? When he played,
Yeah.
Later.
Still can't believe he played football. When I first started watching Chris Collinsworth years ago, when he first started announcing, I didn't know he played football. I didn't care about the Bengals in the 80s. So why would I know? And then when I found out he played football, I'm like, that guy played football?
He's a receiver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as soon as you find that out, you're like, yeah, he's built for a receiver. Okay. So Darryl, what's been shaking down? Apparently you're working on a commission for a friend of ours in the chat.
Yeah. Now that I've got a little downtime, I'm kind of getting caught up on commissions. As you get busy, it's kind of like, I've got commissions to finish. I don't think I have that many, so I should be able to get to his this month, no doubt about it. I'm doing that, and also I've been putting off learning Illustrator. I don't know, Andy, if you use Illustrator
for lettering. I assume that's what you mean, or.
Well, just vector art, period.
Oh, I only know how to do lettering.
Okay, because I thought, I want to make a tablecloth for shows, because I've got a banner and stuff, but I'll see guys that have a tablecloth. I'm like, but then you've probably seen the ones where just it has their life story on it. It's like I'm thinking of just something simple, like maybe my name and maybe a couple images. That's the thing, is just deciding what to put on it. I mean, it took me years just to even do a banner. I think I was at a show with Stuart Sager, and he's had several. He had just one. He just had his name and Batman on it, and that was it. I'm like, okay, I'll just start there. So, matter of fact, it's time for me to update my banner. I've had the same banner. I've had two banners, but it's the same image. I've had to replace the first one.
Yeah.
Broke. Like it. How you get the spring kind of breaks inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happened. So, but I kept the image the same. So I'm like, yeah, I think it's time to just try a different image.
Yeah, I think so. I have a tablecloth. So I know Illustrator for lettering, and that's it. And I'm not anywhere near pro letterer, but I have a tablecloth. The only thing I have, it's black, and the only thing on it is the Astonishing Comics logo right on the front big, and then on each side. I don't know, honestly, though, because I know you're thinking the vector art because it's going to be large on the tablecloth. I honestly don't know if you even have to worry about that. I think print-wise, unless it's a super small JPEG, I think if it's a good-sized TIFF file, high resolution, I think it'll blow up just fine.
Okay.
And like I said, you don't want it that busy anyhow.
Right.
And I mean, obviously it's up to you if you want to learn Illustrator to do it. It's just another tool in your toolkit to say you know how to do, but I don't think it's that necessary for a tablecloth. Mm-hmm. For a banner, a friend of ours, because I'm with you, I've had, we have our Kor-Drath banner for our book, but I have my Andy Smith banner, which is a Power Girl that I did because, she's an eye catcher. Mm-hmm. But what a friend of mine did, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I might have to do that. His banner at the top, because the one thing I see people do, and I did this at first, the bottom of the banner, they'll put some type of text, right?
Mhm.
It's like nobody can see it because it's
Right.
on the floor behind your table. So honestly, any real estate from about the height of the table down on the banner is useless.
Yeah.
So don't put anything important down there. So what my friend's banner or our friend's banner at the top, it has his name. And then around it in like that top third,
Mhm.
he pulled logos from the different companies he's worked for.
Okay.
Now he's worked for like Hasbro and a lot of different places besides Marvel and DC.
Mhm.
But the point is he pulled logos of those companies or the different shows he's worked on as well.
Okay.
And he populated around his name with those logos, and then below that is just a nice big image of whatever he wants,
Right.
And I think that's actually a really good idea for guys like us that have been in the business so long that, and I'm sure this has happened to you, so anybody that's below 20 that comes up to you probably doesn't know your name from comics because we've been doing it for so long. And if they're
Right.
20, when they were born, but if you see those logos, and this is just going from my friend's experience, people will come up and be like, "Oh, you worked for so-and-so. Oh, you worked for, oh, what did you do? Blah, blah, blah." So if I do a new banner at some point, I'm thinking about maybe going that route.
Don't you have a first man banner? I don't know. That's a Mandela effect. I'm like, I picture you had a first man banner.
I have, like I said, I've got a few. So I've got the Kor-Drath, but that's Kor-Drath. I've got my Andy Smith with Power Girl. I've got an Andy Smith with Penumbra. That's the female from First Man, the female character, because once again, might as well put a hot chick on the banner.
Right.
And then I've got a Andy Smith Demigod for when I did Demigod with Ominous Press.
Right. Right.
So, but no, I don't have one with just First Man. No.
Okay.
So, but I would
Ominous
think
Press
for
are
you,
they still around?
no,
Oh, okay. I didn't think so. I haven't heard anything. So
no, unfortunately not. But yeah, I think for you, obviously Green Lantern. I mean, Green Lantern is what you're known for, of course, but still Marvel Comics. You did some work for Marvel, DC, and then whatever else other maybe companies you've worked for.
I was just gonna say, who have you done work for outside of DC? You did Marvel. Did you do any of the smaller independent ones or anything?
that's how I started. I mean, when I got into comics, I was, people think I started at DC. I wish. I mean, I was a half decade in the Indies before doing anything DC work. But on top of that, you mentioned Hasbro. I've worked with Hasbro for a while.
Yeah.
Mattel, I did the toy thing, which was ironic being a toy collector. I'm like, oh, this is a tax write-off now.
Yeah.
I still do commercial art to this day. I mean, when comics go up and down, that's great
Oh,
to
yeah.
have something to fall back on.
Yeah, I think if you put stuff like Mattel, Hasbro, stuff like that, I think you never know. It might draw people over to the table. Or if you can even narrow it down from Hasbro to the specific property, same with Mattel.
I used to bring my Hasbro stuff with me to the cons, and nobody cared.
Oh,
Nobody
what was
cared.
it? I mean, like, what was it that
I
you
worked
brought?
on Marvel Legends. I worked on G.I. Joe, and I would bring some of the, the artwork, the turnaround stuff. And nobody cared. It was kind of like, yeah. So
Really?
anyway, Green Lantern. I thought, well, I'll stop bringing it then.
Yeah.
I thought, having a variety. I guess, I don't know. I kind of feel like I've done things before and after Green Lantern, but it's like, face it, I guess I'm just a Green Lantern guy forever.
Well, I mean,
Which
dude, you
that's not
worked on
terrible,
it.
but
You worked on Green Lantern for a decade, pretty much, right?
it was off and on. It was like 8 years, but it wasn't a solid 8 years. I mean, I was never that fast. I mean, that's how
Still,
Paul Pelletier and Jeff Johnson and, well, Andy, when you and I worked on it, it's
Yeah.
like it was whatever I can squeeze in there. But I mean,
I think
it's not a
8
bad
years,
thing.
man. 8 years is a hell of a run, whether you have fill-ins or not. The bulk of that 8 years is you. Like instead of looking at it like 8 years and you had guys helping out, let's see if you can, because I don't know, but let's see if you can narrow it down like this. Out of the 8 years, right? If you can, in your head, how many issues you did divided by 12, would you say it would be, if you work solid, no fill-ins, 6 years straight? Were there like 24 issues you didn't do out of 8 years? You know, that's 24 is a lot. I would imagine you probably did 6
12
years.
issues, 8 years. That's what, 96 issues total that they would have put out, not, you know, without annuals and stuff. So out of that 96 potential, how many did you do?
Yeah, you had to have done over 60.
Probably. You know, it's like I want to know, but I don't. I remember at one point talking to Dan Jurgens. He was like, man, it might be time for you to move on to something else so that, you know, you don't get, you know, like typecast for that.
Right.
But I'm like, I have a family. I'm like, I can't leave a paying gig that's, you know, constantly feeding me work. I can't leave that. But, you know, I probably should have left when Ron left. But, you know, again, you know, when I did leave, it was a mutual thing. They were ready for me to go and I was ready to leave. And it was kind of like we kind of came together mutually. But yeah, I mean, I was, by the time like Judd Winnick was writing it, I was burned out on it. And that was no reflection on Judd. It was more like, I'm tired of this. It's like, I want to do other things.
Was Judd the writer on it when I was inking you for those few issues? I think he was.
Let me think. Let's see.
Around the 120s,
that was Ron.
I think.
That was still Ron. That was still Ron. Because when Judd came on, my inker was. I have to go back and look. Some of that stuff, I honestly, it's kind of like rearview mirror. Like, yeah, it was years ago. I kind of want to focus on what I'm doing now. But then,
Right.
Andy, when you and I were working on it, yeah, Ron was still writing it. Because I remember that was when Effigy was around and when the controllers were messing with Kyle's head. That was actually a fun story arc. I like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got you know, once again, it was nice that, you know, they did a trade of some of the stuff and I was able to you know, to get it. So it's funny, I'm sure you got one of the comps. They put together that Green Lantern compendium. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before that. And I didn't have enough work in it to get a comp copy sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought one, but I just remember they spelled compendium wrong on the spine.
Did they really? You know, it's funny with comps. It just depends. I mean, there was one that had some of my issues in it. It had an Alan Davis cover, and I never got that one. I've always, you know, being a big Alan Davis fan, I'm like, oh, you know, I got to get that. You know, it's just a matter of time. But then I've gotten comps where I had nothing to do with.
Oh wow.
It's like, oh, this is Green Lantern. He must have had something to do with it. I'm like, no.
So I asked AI for you, Darryl. I was just curious. So I asked, how many issues of Green Lantern did Darryl Banks draw? Interesting enough, it said Banks drew most of the issues from number 50 through 142, along with co-creating Kyle Rayner. He was responsible for designing costumes for Parallax, Graven, and Fatality Doctor. But it just says most of them
Even
from
AI
50
doesn't
to
know.
142.
Wow. I was kind of hoping he's like, oh, well, AI would know exactly. Like, oh,
I know.
Well,
That's crazy. They didn't know the exact answer.
We are still needed. We are still needed.
Man, I'm hoping, you know, that Green Lantern show that is coming out through DC, I guess next year, you know, that has Kyle Chandler in it as Hal Jordan, and I can't remember the actor's name playing Jon Stewart, but I remember seeing him in the movie on Netflix, and I was like, that dude would make a great Jon Stewart, and then lo and behold,
Aaron Pierre.
Yes. And Guy Gardner's in it too. And I'm like, man, they got to put Kyle in it. Because if you put Kyle in it, you're going, yeah, baby, give me some of that money now.
Well, you know, there's an animated series, a Jessica Cruz animated series, and I guess Kyle is in the story at some point. I don't know if he's as a Lantern or this is like a younger Kyle, but you know, a lot of that stuff is reimagined anyway. Like they did My Life with Superman or whatever. It was kind of like a reimagining. I haven't watched much of it. It was kind of like, oh, this seems like more like Superboy to me, but you know, people like it. So I guess that same studio is doing something Green Lantern related. So, yeah, with royalties, it seems like it used to be almost everything. Now it just seems to be comics because Todd McFarlane is doing a Green Lantern 49 homage figure.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And so, but you know, he also did a Parallax. I didn't get. I had to go buy that.
Oh my God, that sucks.
The Kyle figures. But what was funny is when Funko Pop did the Kyle and Parallax figures, and I think Ron got sent a Kyle. I'm like, oh, cool, the writer got one, so mine should be in the mail any day now. No, I had to go buy that too from Target.
Oh
so,
my God, that's awful.
So I mean, that's um, but when I was at the show, people were really excited about the. It seems like Marvel and DC are back to doing crossovers again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I signed some of there's like a huge Marvel DC compendium with all that stuff, which I guess they can't send me a comp of because of the Marvel part of it, but that's like $100 book, and every time I go looking for it, it's sold out. I don't want to pay too much on eBay or something, but just the idea that people must love it because it's been spiking my royalties lately. So I'm excited as well. I would love for Marvel and DC to do a Green Lantern Corps Nova Corps crossover.
Oh yes.
I just think, I mean, let's be honest, the Nova Corps is basically the Green Lantern Corps anyway.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like clearly that was inspired by Gil Kane's original concept. So I would love for that to happen. I don't know, what are some of Marvel DC crossovers you'd like to see?
I mean, one, and this is something, it's basically, they're doing the facsimile editions now of things, which cracked me up because I don't know if you remember, but it was like a decade ago when DC did a few, but Marvel was just pumping out these true believer editions that were $1. Remember those? And they were reprinting, just one-off issues of like, oh, it's the first appearance of this character.
Oh,
and it would say true believer at the top. It was $1.
Okay.
And they did, I mean, I've got almost a short box full. They did tons of them because, I mean, for $1, I didn't care what it was a reprint of, because it was, some stuff was from the 70s, some stuff 80s, even 90s, whatever. And then I remember, Marvel got the idea of going, let's put out this facsimile edition, which is literally like it's called, and you've seen them, the exact book, the way it looked back in the day, except the price is, current $3.99, and at that point, when they saw those things selling, I think they realized, why are we doing true believer editions for $1 with new ads when we can just charge the regular price of $4 for facsimile, and we don't have to do shit. It's that a little disclaimer saying these ads won't work, basically,
Oh, right. Was it?
So,
I think DC and Marvel were doing that.
Oh yeah, DC's putting out facsimile editions monthly of the original Batman Hush right now by Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. And Marvel, starting in January, has been putting out Fantastic Four, starting with number 1. So number 10 just came out. And they're doing the foil edition too, which
is what I've got right here. There's my foil edition.
Is that number 10?
Yep, that is number 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're doing the foil editions, which, even though they say $4.99, every retailer charges $9.99.
Oh, wow.
So coming out next year, it's the 50th. God, make you feel old, right? It's the 50th anniversary next year of Spider-Man Superman crossover.
Thanks for making me feel. I remember the day that came out.
Hey, same here.
The day that came out.
So they're doing a facsimile edition.
That was 50 years ago.
Yeah. So they're doing. Hey, Brohawk says, "What up?"
Hey, that's a going.
They're doing a facsimile edition of the Marvel version and the DC version next year because they're going to be doing a new Spider-Man Superman next year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but they haven't announced the creative team yet. So I'll be buying those facsimile editions for sure. Even though I have the originals, it's like the Superman Muhammad Ali facsimile edition. I'm looking right at it, even though I've got the original. I just love that.
Thing,
yeah,
but with the Superman Wonder Woman, the Garcia Lopez, I have the original, but I'm like, that thing is like a textbook. So I bought the facsimile version to study it.
Yeah, exactly.
Facsimile versions, I get always the foil ones. Joe said, this is what I was going to say, and Joe kind of preempted it there. You know what they need to do is they need to do a movie, or even if it's an animated movie. Quasar versus Kyle Rayner. That way you both get your payday. Wendell Vaughn versus Kyle Rayner.
No, they need to do a comic book version and have us do it. I do a cover.
That's what you
Darryl does a cover. We draw that's a commission we should team up on. I do Quasar, you do Kyle, we draw them fighting, and then
how about a mini series, the Green Lantern Corps, Nova Corps. You've done more Marvel stuff. You do the Nova story. I'll do the Green Lantern story.
Right.
And then we'll have one where the actual team up. Special.
There you go.
We got to pitch this stuff, man. I mean, it's kind of like the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
I know, but yeah. So I got to admit, it's like Dennis. Now I'm not buying the Fantastic Four like Dennis is because I've got the trade, or I have the essential black and white edition of the Fantastic Four stuff. But if they were to do, I'm not getting the Hush stuff either because I still have the originals of that. But if they were to do a facsimile of Avengers, maybe starting with #1, like they're doing with Fantastic Four, I might get on that bandwagon and buy them because they've done a few facsimile editions of a few select issues of Avengers that are key that I've bought.
Do you remember the old Masterworks hardcovers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have those.
Still got them back here. I love them. They're your first runs where they had the embroidered gold. Those were the best. And then the second, third prints and stuff, they went with regular lame covers. But man, those first runs on them. I'm an X-Men fan, and I've got the X-Men ones. I've got some of the Spidey, Fantastic Four. Marvel Masterworks were the bomb, and I think at the time they were like $39.99 or something like that a book. They were worth every penny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I look back at some of those. A buddy of mine, do you know? I don't know if you know him or not. Do you know Drew Geraci, Darryl, the anchor?
Yeah, we did a show in Knoxville a few years ago. Yeah.
Okay, so Drew has a great YouTube channel, and a lot of the stuff, and he talks about the stories and story arcs and stuff. And sometimes he'll do a show dedicated, like he just had a show drop a few days ago dedicated to Wally Wood working at Marvel.
Oh, okay.
And he'll pull out his hardcover Masterworks and stuff. And a part of me is, I think he has I don't think he has every Masterworks, but I think he's close.
Okay. Did he get them as comps or he bought them all?
No, I think he bought them. Yeah.
Okay. Because he worked at Marvel. So
he did, but I don't know if they gave comps of those things out unless you were really high up, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Marvel was never as good with comps as DC was.
Well, I've never done enough stuff for Marvel to be able to. I always wondered stuff like this. Does Marvel do the same thing as
Oh, they're awful. Yeah, no, Marvel, at DC, you remember working on Green Lantern, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were doing it monthly. Well, even when I worked on just one issue of a book, the week before the book hit the stands at the comic shop, you'd have the box from the printer show up at your house with 25 of them.
Yeah.
At Marvel, dude, when I worked on the monthly book at Marvel, I'd be lucky if, one day, and this is like weeks after the book came out, I might get an envelope in the mail, and I'm not kidding, a literal yellow oversized, paper envelope.
Yeah, right.
There might be 3 copies in it. And then the next month, I might get 5 or 6. Then I might get 10. Then I might get 1. Just all over the place. DC, though, right on. Right on. So I'm with you. But I guess Marvel discontinued the Masterwork stuff. Now they just do the Epic collections.
Yep, they did.
Yeah.
So this is why I love our audience. If I counted correctly, which means he was doing his homework while we've been chatting, Darryl did roughly 53 issues during the Green Lantern Volume 3 run. So there you go.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I did not know that.
No, that's not bad. I mean, that's more than half of the 8-year run. So yeah, Masterworks. Yeah. Oh yeah. Omnibuses.
Yeah.
Do you own any of the omnibuses, Darryl? The big fat 100, like the crossover one you were talking about? Do you own any
Just
of those
whatever
suckers?
gets sent to me. I have never bought any. I mean, I remember DC did not Zero Hour. What's the other one that's very similar to it? I get maybe it was 0 Hour. The it came out recently within the last couple of years. Who's the villain with the red and black costume? Like there's a toy of him and everything. Extant.
Wait,
Black
Is that
Hood.
0 Hour.
That is 0 Hour. Okay.
No. Wait, Dennis, who'd you say?
Is it Black Hood?
No.
No.
That's a Marvel character.
Oh,
I don't.
Batman. Wait, what's Batman? Ex Robin.
Oh,
Red
that's oh yeah,
Red
no, that's the Red Hood.
Red Hood. I just had the
Okay.
wrong-
Yeah, no, 0 Hour is from the
I think
90s.
it was 0 Hour. I think it was a zero. Anyway, that was that one, and it was one other. Yeah, that thing is. Well, I say a phone book. I have to explain to if any kids listening. What's a phone book? You know, like
Yeah.
they used to put them on your porch, and they were yellow, and then you had the white pages and yellow pages, and really thick. Whenever I speak at schools, when I mentioned I used to get rejection letters that was as thick as the phone book, and they were like, a phone book? Like, oh, yeah. I'm like, when was the last time anyone saw a phone book? So I have to explain what that means. So I got to find a new analogy.
Yeah.
But
that's
getting back to
record players, or when I used to dial the phone. What do you mean dial? You just hit the screen.
Yeah.
Or you get angry and you'd slam the phone down, and then it would
Right.
make that huge ring, which was very satisfying. And now all you get is a click.
You don't even get that. Like at least when you hung up on somebody back in the day,
you got to dial.
they
something.
wouldn't hear the slam, but you would, so it would be satisfying.
That's
but
right.
they would hear some disconnect noise, right?
Yeah. But
Now
they would hear the initial funk as it hits. The receiver would hit. They would hear ka-chink.
Right. Now, like you said, Dennis, it's just pushing the end button. So there's no noise on my end, and you don't get a noise either. Like you might still be talking because you don't know that it's disconnected.
And then I'll get a phone call back. Did you hang up on me or were you disconnected? Oh, well, let me answer that. Hang up again.
That's right. That's right. You know, it's sad. And we've lived in this house since 2013. And for the first few years, you know, that once a year on the driveway in the plastic bag, there were 2 phone books, but that went away pretty quick. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, do you even have a landline anymore?
No, but I got rid of it within the last 2 years. I mean, I had it, but I just wasn't using it. I've always had this. Well, what if I'm like, no one I know, family or otherwise, is calling it. But at one point, I had some commercial jobs where they had that old phone. But since then, they were more email anyway. So it was like I'm paying for a landline and the phone. Well, I was getting so many, we can save you on your auto insurance or whatever, and it's fake, like the warranty type of thing. It was all those. I'm like, I was taking off the hook. I'm like, now how much does this cost to me a month? It was like $40 a month or something. I'm like,
yep,
for something I wasn't using. So I'm like, yeah, just get rid of it. So
I'm still trying to get my mom to get rid of it. She still has her landline. I'm like, honestly, other than telemarketers, who calls you on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you talk to her, it's on her cell phone, right, Dennis?
Yeah, everybody, the whole family does. Randy, the old phones were so heavy, they were often used as murder weapons.
That's right.
Think of the old TV shows, the old Columbo kind of, murder mystery. Yeah, they were used as that, unless they were the princess phones, those slimline ones that hung on the wall. Yeah. That's what we had. And then we talked so much, they put on 50-foot cords so you could actually grab it and literally, because I would wander through the house, go up the stairs, and I, just like I do now when I'm on my phone, I'm usually not sitting here. I'm usually talking and wandering around the house. They had to put 50-foot cords on so that I could, the stretchy cords, so you could sit there and wander through the house.
Old technology. I remember my first scripts, even with DC, I didn't have a computer, so they had the fax, the thermal transfer fax machines. I remember buying one of those from Office Max or something.
Yeah, when I was I did an interview on this woman's channel. I don't think it's out yet, but she was asking me, well, you've been in the business a long time. What's really changed? And I said, well, I mean, God, when I got in the business, I'd get a FedEx box with a bunch of the paper because DC and Marvel supplied paper, which I imagine they still do, but most of their guys are probably digital. And then in the box was the script. And if the script wasn't ready, it would come through fax. And then I had to either buy a copy machine, which I eventually did, because before I mailed the pages up, I would send faxes up of the reduced copies of my pencils. And then I'd, mail them up once they got approved and stuff. So, yeah.
Then you had to make reduced copies. Now, I don't know if you remember this, Andy. You're the first person that told me, hey, there's a scanner that you can get for your computer big enough to handle an 11 by 17 page. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
I just recently threw that scanner away within the last 6 months or so. I'm like,
are you serious?
Yeah, I had it. It was just in a box. I'm like, obviously I couldn't use it. It wasn't compatible with anything. I'm like, hey, this is that Andy Smith scanner. Because I remember you told me and a few others, like, I found a scanner big enough for our artwork, and it was such a game changer. I didn't have to go to get photocopies and shrink them down to fax. And I'm like, oh, I can do it all from the comfort of my home. Yeah.
That was and the funny thing is, I still remember the brand. It was a Mustech.
That's it. The Mustech. That's
Mustech.
It. Wow, you remember that. That's
Mustech A3 USB, I believe is what it was called.
Well, I didn't have the USB. I had the old parallel pin version,
Oh, my first one was.
Okay.
And then that one, I don't remember how long. It lasted a long time. And it was only like, Art of Roy, Mustech. Yeah. It was like, and this is, 20, 25 years ago. It was only like $100. It wasn't that expensive.
No, it wasn't. But there were smaller scanners that were way more expensive. When you told me about them, I'm like, oh man, I couldn't afford that. I was like, no, they're Mustang. They're not that expensive. So sure enough, yeah. So the only thing is my computer at the time was so slow. I couldn't do anything else but scan. If I was scanning, it's kind of like, well, gotta go do something else because it would take up all the resources,
Yeah, and then if you tried doing something else while it was scanning, once the image uploaded, if you were working on your computer because it was pulling memory, you might see a little skip in the scan or something. You're like, oh, I got to rescan it. But now I've just got the big Epson all-in-one, which prints and, scans and everything. So when you do your commissions and stuff now, are you doing, obviously the final commission is on paper because it's for someone, but do you do any of your rough working out digitally, then print out in Lightbox, or do you just still work?
You know how this works. That's exactly how I do it. Matter of fact, earlier today, I had sold some headshots at Richmond, so I was doing a headshot of Hal.
Oh, nice.
And so this is they're going to be the pencil and ink, but this I use Clip Studio Paint. To do my prelims for things.
Oh, so wait. So the one that you just showed, after you do the rough in Clip Studio, do you print it out and Lightbox it? Or do you print it out and so you print it? Okay. Because I've done if there's anything you want to promote, Darryl, just let us know. Website, anything. I did link your Instagram in the description for people.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
I've done commissions where I've drawn it digitally, but lightboxing through Bristol, it's still kind of a pain. So I'll print it out really light blue on the Bristol.
Okay.
And then, finish it up with ink, and, I print it out in so light blue, I have to pencil over it anyhow. So it just saves the whole point of popping on a light box and stuff, But
I've done it that way when I was working on, like, maybe doing a color piece.
And
I'll print it out on it really light so I can go back and add ink and the color to it. But for the most part, my light boxes are pretty bright. They can handle even, most Bristol, but certain color stock, heavier stock, no, it's not clear enough. But yeah, I do all my commission prelims digitally. Comic wise, it's been all digital, but it wasn't always that way. I remember I first started trying to work digitally I had an old Wacom, like the kind of you're drawing down here and the screen's up here.
Oh yeah.
But I could never. It just took too long. I feel like it was slowing me down. So I had to eventually get a Cintiq, and now, that's my favorite way to work.
Yeah, I think coloring that way before there were Cintiqs wasn't bad. It was like, okay, that wasn't that slow. I couldn't imagine drawing that way. I've never drawn anything that way. I
I've
didn't
met
do
artists
that.
that they prefer it. To me, that's just like a talent. I'm like, I don't get it.
No,
I
unlike
don't
you,
know.
you can't see it, but right in front of the monitor I'm looking at a 35-degree angle is the big 27-inch diagonal Cintiq.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do draw digital stuff, I can do that, and then I could have a video or something up in the foreground. But yeah, but do you find when you're drawing digitally though that because of the ease, I guess you could say, of going, oh, you know what? I don't like the way this leg looks. Obviously you don't have to erase it, so you can add a new layer and draw over top. So if you don't like the new one, you've still got the old one. But do you find that because it gives you that flexibility to do that, that it might even slow you down some
It did
because
when I first
you can
started.
overthink?
It certainly did when I first. I mean, gosh, it's going on maybe 8 years now. But at first, yeah, because one, I was learning the programs in
Mm-hmm.
general. But now it's a lot faster. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
it's like slowly but surely I was finding myself doing more comics because like, when I was just completely traditional, I just overthought everything. I mean, everything. But now, yeah, just I have a certain rhythm of how I work as far as from sketch to the final thing, whether it's a comic page or even a commission. It's more like, it's like a step by step how I kind of make sure that I'm maximizing time.
Right.
Um, but yeah, when I first started doing it, oh yeah, it completely slowed me down. It reminds me of when I was learning comics, period, learning linear perspective. I'm like, I don't want to do all that vanishing point stuff. And then I was learning it and it slowed me down. Then it sped me up. I remember
Right.
about some of my first work was with a company called Innovation.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sent like examples like this is what comics is supposed to look like. And I remember getting a bunch of Bart Sears and Ron Lim artwork.
Oh, Hero
Um,
Alliance, right?
yeah, Hero Alliance and the something mutant X mutants or something like that. This was before Ron Lim was Ron Lim. It was
Oh
like
yeah.
so I'm like, okay, so this because my pencil samples were based on real loose. Do you remember the Marvel tryout book with John Romita
Oh
Jr.?
yeah.
That's the first time I ever saw pencils. I didn't know what pencils are supposed to look like. So my stuff was really, really loose and non-specific. And, they were like, you gotta tighten it up more here, like this. And one of the pages they sent was, and Bart, it was this little kid on a big wheel going like by an alley with a fire escape and all that and all this detail. I'm like, it's supposed to look like that. I'm like, maybe this is not an industry for me. I don't know. So I was like, they're showing me some of the best there was at the time. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but I mean, it helped because it showed me, if you want to do this, the standards are pretty high out there. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned those issues. There's only one issue of that Hero Alliance I'm missing from the amount that Ron Lim and Bart did.
mhm.
And I've got they did a graphic novel where they, collected. I don't know if the graphic novel was first and they broke that up into a few singles or vice versa, but I love that early stuff that Ron was doing because
Mhm.
you look at it and I'm willing to bet if I ever did like a stream where it's like, this would actually be a fun live stream to do is, find like some of the very first work by artists and then find the most current and show the before and after, I guess. But that Ron Lim stuff, you can't even tell it's Ron. Which issue am I missing? I will, because this is visual, I will actually show you the cover because there's a couple volumes to it. So even if I said the number, it's Hero Alliance Volume 2, number 3, and I believe, oops, this is, let me do this. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Wait, where are you guys? There we go. So I'm kind of hoping you have it since you asked. That's the issue I'm missing. So if anybody has it and wants to sell it to me, contact me, because that is the one issue of Hero Alliance I am missing right there. So Volume 2, number 3. So, but I don't know, man. I'm finding, when I go to shows, I was at this one show over the weekend, South Carolina Comic-Con Junior, the one unfortunately Dennis couldn't attend. And I did. I bought one book that I was looking for that was like, well, it was $8, but I know the dealer, they gave it to me for $5. Other than that, I bought a bunch of dollars. It wasn't even dollar stuff. It was 2 for $1 stuff. Right. And stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? I'll get this. Cause even if a year from now I'm going through my stuff, I'm like, I don't want this anymore. Who cares? It was 50 cents, throw it away. But I do want to share this one video that, Joe Bernardo, if you're still watching, you tagged us on Facebook. So AI, as we all know, is coming, has come really far. And there's specific AI video stuff that I think is intriguing. And I'll share the screen. So this is a short. That's why it's in the vertical format. So I can't flip it. But I don't know if you've seen this, Darryl.
I've seen it.
You've seen this exact video or this?
Not this exact video, but I've seen it's like, I don't know, like Runway Walk. I saw one with like Batman throughout the years.
This is just crazy. And the one reason I'm sharing it is, when we get to the Superman, I'll pause it, because on the Superman, it looks like they tried to do Henry Cavill's face, but it's just like this Wonder Woman, it's the regular costume. And my whole point behind showing this is, these movie guys like James Gunn and stuff, you don't have to overthink these costumes, guys. Like, I think this Wonder Woman costume works just fine the way it is. So let's, I don't have the sound up because we don't need to hear it. But, all right, here we go. So yeah, I think the Wonder Woman costume, I think that works. Nice little shake there. This is just, I don't even know who that is. I wouldn't have wasted my, who is it?
Giganta.
Oh, look at that Aquaman. That's great. That Huntress, nice. Fire looks good. I mean, that looks more cosplay. I don't understand what's going on, why Hawker would even look like that. Because that's look at this. That looks like Henry, doesn't it?
Definitely inspired by
really close.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dead on, but when it was a straight on shot of his face. But look, but the big point is, there's the costume, guys. It's not that hard. Like, Darryl, I don't know if we talked, because we did check. The last time you were on was 4 years ago. So it's been a while. So I'm assuming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming
I had to look it up. I says, we've had him on, but I says, it's been a hot minute. So we looked. Wow. It was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Too long.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm assuming you've seen, obviously, Justice League and Man of Steel and all that. Okay. Nothing about the story. Let's just focus on Superman. Thoughts on the Superman costume that Henry wore?
Well, you're asking a guy in his 60s to critique these modern designs, where I grew up on, Superman to me, I think about, I got to have the trunks. It's not just because I'm an old guy and that's how it is. More like the red breaks up all that blue. I think when you just have nothing but, you've got the cape and the logo and then all this blue and then back to red boots. To me, it's like I like a ratio.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just how I see it.
Well, what did you think of? I'm going to hit play on this. Now, I haven't watched this video past this point, so from here on out, this is all new to me. What did you think of the? Did you see the new Superman movie?
Yes.
What you think of that costume?
I'm not big on the collar, but at least he's got the briefs back again. He's got the red trunks again. But I don't know. I feel like Superman needs, I would have brought down that collar. I don't know. To me, it's more like it just feels like a strength thing. To me, characters with collars is more like if they are more energy based or they're royalty or something. That's you know, just it's more like just the thought process I go through. Like why I gave Parallax a collar, like he's a bigger deal, so it's almost
Yeah,
like harkens to royalty. That's where I feel a collar comes in. I mean, I guess in some ways you could say, well, maybe Kal-El is like the prince of Krypton. I don't know. So, but that was my main thing. And they want to put textures on every costume now. I'm like, I, you know, I don't know. I just it's almost like that same basketball texture. I don't know why that's so big. It is. It was more like that's just where they're at now. I mean, to me, I mean, even with toys, like when McFarlane did a Kyle Rayner action figure, it's got all this texture on it. I'm like, when DC Direct did Kyle, it was nice and smooth the
yeah. I'm
way I
trying to
intended
think,
it,
right?
but you know,
Which Kyle? So I only have one Kyle figure from McFarlane.
hmm
It's you're talking about the one that you designed. Is that the one you're talking about?
well, I mean, neither one of them are dead on to my design. It's more like kind of the modern take on it, where the silver doesn't go all the way to the back. Now it's just in the front. But now McFarlane did the same one. He did a second. My favorite one that he did was the one that comes with Kilowog, the 2-pack, where
Oh, I don't know if I saw that one.
the green is more accurate. It's a darker green. Where I think the first one I felt like was just a little too light in my opinion.
Let me take a
But
look. So my thoughts on the Superman. Let's just see. I'm trying to find that Kyle Rayner, Todd McFarlane. Oops. All right, let's see what comes up. My thoughts on the Superman one in the new movie. I'm with you. I wasn't a fan of the collar, but I wasn't a fan of the 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 suit not really being form fitting. You know,
mhm.
I get what he was trying to do, but once again, I kind of harken back to how could they nail it in the 70s with Christopher Reeve, and ever since then they just haven't been able to do it. And
I,
and
it's
and and back then that was it. You
Well, I
know,
think there were people have, it's almost like people have made a joke out of heroes in spandex, like, oh, they're running around in leotards. And I think they have to make sure it feels more, carbon fiber or more, I don't know, armored, tactical, I guess. Um,
yeah. Oh, so
but
this is here. Let me see. Let me share. This is the one I have.
okay. That's that's they've done a couple since then. This is who designed that one? Maybe,
That's is that Jim Lee's?
no, this is after Jim Lee. That
Oh,
would have been, I should say Ivan Reese. It's pronounced Yvonne Hayes. I think that was around his run.
wait a
But they've
second. Let's
made
back up. It's pronounced what?
Yvonne Hayes.
It's not Ivan Rice.
No, I've been saying that for like 20 years. I was on a podcast, this Brazilian podcast, and they're like, "Oh, he's been a regular, on our show," and I'm like, "Oh," so I've been butchering his name for all this time. But
Oh my
you know,
God, so have I.
but I
I
guess
you know,
if you say that, they know what you're talking about.
in all honesty, I actually said it the way you did, the right way, and then
Mhm.
Dennis corrected me. So I was like, well, Dennis knows everything, so I'll just go with Ivan Rice. Thanks, Dennis. Um, this is the
That's
one I
yeah.
want.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that comes with Kilowog and a bunch of ring creations and stuff. And
Oh, yeah, this is your costume. This is the one I want. So
although they gave him this weird, these patterns in the gauntlets and the boots, but again, it's McFarlane. He sometimes he'll do his take on things. Like the
yeah,
parallax was just way off, but I'm just glad that they did them.
yeah. Well, they got to make it different. So
But then they'll do accurate ones
Always
in
got to
some other
mess with
characters.
stuff. But yeah, I wasn't a fan in the new Superman of just lack of a better word, the bagginess of the
Oh yeah, yeah.
costume. I would have been pissed. I said this too when we talked about it. I would have been pissed being the actor because that dude freaking put on a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did.
You know, he showed some gym shots of himself. And I mean, he was right up there with looking as good as Cavill did without a shirt on. And then he wears that suit and it's
Right.
you
It's
can't
like,
even see it.
Why did he go through all that for what reason? So
Yeah.
but maybe in the sequel, we'll get more of a form-fitting costume. Because I mean, if I was him, I'm like, hey, if I'm going to put in that kind of work, I kind of want to see it. You know.
Yeah,
So,
I agree too, because obviously we know they're doing a sequel, but the thing with the Superman sequel compared to like Iron Man, they did all the different movies, and then every movie he guest starred in, it was a different armor. So by the time Endgame came around, he had up to
right.
45, 46 armors, right? The
Right.
Mark 48, whatever. But it makes sense because he's always innovating.
Right,
Captain America, same thing. It was like, well, the first costume was from World War II. The second costume was more present day. So that made sense. With Superman, though, if they make big changes, like I think they'll make subtle changes, but you'll still look at it and go, it's the same costume.
Well, even the Cavill
like we're
costume,
talking
it
about,
got tweaked here and there.
what's that?
Even the Cavill costume between Batman versus Superman and Justice League, there were some slight differences.
Right.
And I didn't notice it until I saw some side by side, because in my mind it's the exact same. Like, no, there is some difference there.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I think the problem is they can't make the amount of changes we'd like tighten the suit up. Because even if they keep the same design and tighten it up, you might think, why did Superman change his costume?
Right. Did you
I don't
watch
know.
Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
The show, like his first appearance costume. I'm like, wow, that was almost dead on to the to the Fleischer stuff. And I'm like, could you do like maybe give a reason like his regular suit gets destroyed, he has to go back to that one? I was like, wow, that was
dude, that suit was I know that episode. That suit was freaking phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah. So well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Do you have anything that you would like to promote right now?
Let's see. I think the only recent thing I can think of is when been doing some milestone work for DC, and
cool.
I did a miniseries called Shadow Cabinet, and they maybe a couple months ago they did a trade paperback of it.
Oh, hold on. Let me get you a full screen. Oh, there you go. Nice.
With this Dennis Cowan cover.
He's so good.
But other than that, yeah, that's about all I can think of. Most of the things I've worked on, some indie stuff, I don't have comps of them yet. But just follow me on Instagram, whatever. Keep up with my conventions schedule, that sort of thing. Love meeting people in person, and I keep it rolling. Hopefully, it's been a fun ride so far. It's hard to believe that I remember trying to break into this business. I've been doing it 35 years so far. So
I know, right?
So
35 years and you just turned 50. So I mean, look at you. You started young.
I just turned 50. My 10th anniversary of my 50th birthday.
That's right. Well, guys, of course, Lilineth, Infernal Conflict right here for you guys. Dennis, talk about this real quick. I want to grab something to show everybody from it.
Well, guys, Lilineth is back. You asked for it. You wanted to know more about this intriguing character from the first two graphic novels of Kor-Drath. So you get to find out about the infinite field of infernal conquest and her backstory, how she's in one of the layers of the abyss and something happens. And it'll really give you the backstory of how she gets into the Shattered Reach and what's going on. It's kind of like a little bookmark in between the Kor-Drath, the Awakening, and then the book after that. So it's a great way to catch up and learn more about one of the most intriguing figures that you guys wanted to know more about.
There you go, guys. And just so you know, the link, of course, is in the description below. You can get the box set collector's box, comes in a nice collector's box. You get all the covers. The foil cover we just added to the campaign now will be in the collector's box, so even more bang for your buck. You get the John Malin black and white variant cover and the Usurcia bookmark only in the big, beautiful Lilineth box. Of course, the 2-inch minifigure. But more importantly, pardon me as I solo, oh yeah, the Kor-Drath calendar is in the house from the printer. Ring in the new year, hang it on your wall, and enjoy Kor-Drath every month of the year. Great art at the top. The art is incorporated in the calendar design. We've got some fun dates and stuff marked in here, birthdays and such, and special events that take place in the Shattered Reach. So the calendars are here. There's only 40 of them. 10 of them have been chosen. They will start shipping out next week. I just ordered the envelopes for them. So go get a calendar because they're going to start being mailed out. So you do have it in time for the new year. So go get your Kor-Drath calendar. There are 30 of them left, so don't be left out. And we only have, I believe, let's see, we have 11 copies of the limited retro newsprint edition left. So you'll definitely want to get that. That's right. Marcus got to see the calendar. I even let him touch it because that's how nice of a guy I am. He was like, can I hold it? I said, put gloves on. Get yourself 11 copies left, limited edition newsprint edition with a throwback cover, throwback retro coloring, more flat type color in the inside, so it looks like you're reading a classic book from the 70s. So go get that because there's only 100 of them on the campaign. Signed, numbered. They come with a certificate of authenticity. The link for the campaign is in the description below. There's the beautiful foil cover, the homage cover, and yes, we have added t-shirts to the campaign, white, charcoal gray, or black, all featuring the Lilineth homage cover artwork. So you can get one of those too. And go check it out, guys. Really appreciate it. And Darryl, thanks for joining us. It's been 4 years. It cannot be 4 more years.
Exactly.
When we do
we
this.
do get to see you at Heroes. But
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
the
I will
same as
definitely
being
see you
on
here.
the show.
That's right.
Excellent.
That's right.
Excellent. Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then, guys, another thing coming back now that Dennis is back, the movie reviews can continue. It has been over a month that I have not seen a movie sitting next to Dennis where we put the armrest up and curdle next to each other so nice and tight. It has not been the same. I have gone to see some movies, but not with my bro. We're seeing Tron tomorrow night. That means Friday morning, a Tron movie review is going to be there for you guys.
Tron Aries, I am hoping for good since I've been laid up. I did watch Tron and Tron Legacy back to back. So I am looking forward to seeing if they knock this out of the ballpark and give us the ending that we all want.
That's right. So that comes back. And then next week, we will be back with another guest on the show. And we'll just leave it at that. Nice little tease. Somebody who's never been on the show before. I can leave it at that. And there you go. So until then, thank you all for joining us. Go watch Graybeard's, Aaron Lepresti's channel. And Darryl, do you know Aaron Lepresti?
Yeah, I've met Aaron before. Sure.
I'm going to tell him that he needs to have you as a guest on Graybeards. That is a show where they pick a topic and him, Dan Lawless, and David Williams all draw live for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
So if you're man enough, I'll suggest you to him.
I don't know, but I live up to his standards. I don't know. I hope so.
Oh, it's Aaron. You'll live up to his standards. It's the other guys you got to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have a gray beard, so you fit right in.
See,
look at that. Brohawk says, get on Graybeards. So, David, that's your homework. You need to suggest Darryl to Aaron when you're on the show.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Until next time, Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper.
Bye-bye. Thanks again.
Yeah.